whipping wasn't effective because it was, but no, we always grabbed the neck like that, and it's good, and because it felt comfortable. But then the more I started to play with this also felt comfortable, and then when they were both comfortable, I was like, yeah, that works a lot better. You know, I was doing a lot of stuff, shoulder and low back. Neither one was the extreme of the lever, right? I can tell you from experience, if you have a guy who has hair that you can grab, that is as high up on that lever as you can get. Yeah, and the rule of grabbing the hair is open his eyes. I want his arm like that, his forehead like that. Boom, he's gonna go. Yeah. We're gonna go softly on this because it's dangerous. We're dealing with the arches. Remember before we hit the stomach, we saw there was a difference if I hit and if I hit and I stayed, right? So if I'm gonna fulcrum these 3 lever points, the best way to do it is to hit and stay. So I'm not going hard. I go, boom, stop it, and then I push over. Because watch, resist a bit. If I go like this, I freeze this and I push that, it's one thing. But if I slap it and freeze and go, it's quite different. If I put edge like that, different. Different. I'm not pushing with this. I hit and the work is done. You'll see often some of the stuff, they don't teach you what they're doing, but they do this one, you know? They hit 2. They go bing, bing, like that, or like that, and they sweep it. That's all they're doing. If you fist, it's even better. Because now, I can look, we saw before, I can hit straight in, but I can also hit down. So what am I doing? I'm hitting to a triangle point. After the punch is done, it just freezes. Yeah? Look at the difference if I punch, I'm doing this on the first one, and then I'm doing this on the second one. First one, I'm punching there. Different. It affects the hips, not the breath. Second one, I'm punching out of his mouth. Totally changes how the guy breathes. Yeah? And if now, this is how his spine can bend very well. Right? This is much easier. This is a little bit harder. This is not so good. So if I go and I punch, let's say, over there, it hurts here. If I punch up here, everything gets stuck in there, so you start to hurt a guy badly. So when you're in that clinch, you can't go, look, I can hit just that, there's his head. And then you're taking his balance. And that's just this guy. That's all I'm doing. Let my hands to look at. You tell me, I'm going to do arthritic old man hand. I didn't even move my hips, and then I just draw it down. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot. Does that make sense? So you just have anything you're going to, even if I was going to do fingers, if I tap and they stay there, it makes it easier to go, right? And this is all, I always tell people, this is studying structure, this is breaking structure. You're going to go in your nose, you're going to go in your eye, you're going to take your throat, you're going to take your ear. It's a fight, this is, I'm not doing this. You know what, even if I'm trying not to hurt, I'm going to grab your ear or your hair, take you down, and I put a chin in your eye. It's going to be dirty all the time. Because I have to put you to the ground. I'm never trying to give a demonstration of mechanics to somebody who's trying to hurt. But for teaching, we do, right? So all we do, and even if I do the front, what's the cousin of this? Right? So just stop. I barely hurt to the left, and then I come down. If I go here, same thing. Plexus. That the sister of your vertebrae. Just the thumb works, right? Just the knuckle. Cousin of the tailbone. That's your pubis. Yeah. You work your abs out all day long. I'll hit your pubis every time. You will feel the bone, and then you'll feel the separation. Just right there, guys. You can have a cup on, it doesn't matter. Poke drive, you'll get a guy down. You guys trying to stand up, hit him with the pubis. Right? I always tell people never hit